Now, you should do e-commerce if you really want to have a business. This is like brick and mortar store, only that you don't have a physical business, but it's basic retailing.
Hi guys, welcome back in the new Noypi channel. And again, it's your host Kion. And today we will be joined with Joseph Odera. He's an e-commerce entrepreneur, and he was able to build his business from scratch to earning millions here in our country. So, without further ado, Joseph, bro, please tell naman about your background before you entering into e-commerce business, and how were you able to start your journey as an e-commerce entrepreneur.
Alright, so hi everyone, I'm Odera Joseph, and I'm from Nigeria, and currently I'm 25-year-old. So before I started e-commerce, I came here as a tourist, and before that, I'm also doing or trying out international dropshipping. So I came here as a tourist in the Philippines, and I started studying while doing my international dropshipping. And of course, there's a lot of challenges on it. And after a few more years, fast forwarded to 2017, I decided to start local e-commerce, selling in the Philippines. And I tried using AliExpress and it didn't work out. So I started learning about finding products locally. And from there, Divisoria, Shopee and everything. And at the point, I come to think that what if we were able to establish an AliExpress in the Philippines. So that's how the dropshipping idea came about. And from 2018, we started building our dropshipping services, and up till now, and that's how we started that concept, and it's still growing up to now.
So just to clarify, bro, for our audience who are sort of new with this e-commerce business, it's basically you finding a product, and I believe you're looking for a product locally made here in the Philippines, and then you have your store online, which people can purchase probably via your website or any Shopify website that you have. And then you go to your fulfillment, which is you're already engaged into having. So they will be the one who will pack it and then send it to your buyers. So
Mm,
that's your
correct.
e-commerce. And just to start off with, or to give our audience a heads up, is this business, the e-commerce business, available for anyone, for everyone?
Yes, actually, it is available for anyone, but I wouldn't say it's for everyone. Okay, but it is available for anybody to start, but requires some setup to be able to start and succeed in e-commerce.
I see. Yeah, yeah. It's you're correct. It's available to anyone, but it's not for everyone. Um,
Yes.
um, you said before that you've also tried Shopee as a as your selling platform, correct?
No, I meant I try to use Shopee to find suppliers. I
I
don't
see.
sell on Shopee. I've not tried it. I try to use them, to find local suppliers and buy products from them and try to resell it. So that's how I use Shopee, even Lazada too. So I don't sell on these platforms. I just use them to find
Okay.
Pinoy suppliers that I can get products from.
To begin with, how are you able to find what products to sell? Are you engaging into looking at what's hot or what's trending in the Philippines, and then you find the manufacturer for that or supplier for that product?
Okay, so the basic concept of further research is there are two ways. Number one is manual, if you want to do it more like brainstorming yourself. So you can try to look around and find any problem that exists around you that you think that is not being solved. It could be probably anything that you think that, okay, nobody's solving this problem. What if I could find a product that will solve this problem? The second way is to use some certain tools. So there's some tools already that one of them is Ecom Hunt. So it has a lot of products already researched for everyone. So what I do is I use that tool. I go to Ecom Hunt. I find a product that I think or I see that is going to solve a certain problem for people, and then I go to Shopee to find it to see if it's available in the Philippines. So that's how I do it, the fastest way. But so yeah, that's the only way I can use Shopee. It's either I do my own brainstorming or I use the tool in order to find whatever I want. And then if it's available in the Philippines through Shopee, then I have to buy the stocks and then start selling it.
This Ecom Hunt tool that you used, is it mainly or specifically designed to check the Philippine market, or is it globally?
It's for international market. So actually, Ecom Hunt is mainly for international, but we're developing another one for Filipino market. It's going to be released in December 2020. So it's like a copy of Ecom Hunt, but for local. So Ecom Hunt generally is for international. So since there is more opportunity worldwide than the Philippines, so you can find a lot of products there that does not exist yet in the Philippines, and that's going to give you a head start when you find a supplier for that item locally.
Would you suggest going into Google Trends? Let's say, for example, microphone or camera tripod, and then I search it in Google Trends if it's high in demand or is it being searched many times. Would you suggest that if the Filipinos don't have the budget to buy that Ecom Hunt tool, I believe it's paid version for that tool.
Well, yeah, you can still do that if you don't have the budget, but I think it's just $20, so I think it's affordable anyway. But if you don't have the budget, you can actually use that. The trends you're talking about, like I said, you can look around and see if something there's not been done and try to see if it's trending. Although for me, Google Trend is not really effective in the Philippines because it's a very tiny market compared to the US. So I don't really depend on it because Filipinos want to buy something that solves a problem. So even without Google Trend, you can think of something because you are Filipino, you know what your people need. So you can immediately generate a solution and find a product with it from your head, even without the help of Google Trend. But yeah, Google Trend works. The only problem with following trends is that it doesn't last because, like, if it's viral, it goes to a certain month and then it dies off. That's why trending products are not really something that you're gonna depend on. It just have to be something that solves a long-term problem that every Filipino would like to have. That's gonna be a winning item.
Yeah. So I just realized it. Yeah, you're correct. What if the product is very seasonal and then you search it on the Google trend? Probably, let's say it's
Yeah,
for summer. It's ranking high in the Google trend,
yeah,
but on December, probably it's not. Yeah,
it's
take
done.
that note. By the way, how many products have you launched yet? Would you remember?
I mean, how many products I've tested? Uh,
Tested, yes. Tested and launched.
countless, countless. Because I have a lot of stores. I have tried a lot of stores. I've launched multiple products. It's more than 100. If you're gonna ask me, because there's some failed products as well. Some are winning, some are failed. So I don't keep count anymore of how many I've tested.
Were you able to recall what's your worst product? Probably the most failed product that you have and the most, is it, are you comfortable sharing at least the failed one?
The most failed product was a fidget spinner. You know that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
because like
thing.
I told you, yeah, it was trending, and then when I launched it, it was almost done, and it was really bad result. Obviously, the most I have a lot of most winning items, a lot. I don't need to mention it anyway because you don't reveal a winning item, but there's a lot, obviously, and most of them are actually high ticket, big items, household items. So that the things that Filipinos want to buy, something they can be using every day and see the value in it.
I remember the fidget spinner came out 2017, 2016,
Yeah, it
but
was
only
trending.
for it's only for few
few
months, and
months.
then
Yeah,
yeah, probably when you're ready to launch it, the the
it
trend is
starts.
already going down. It's a fad. Yeah, so basically, so that's what you do. You launch products to Filipino markets, and then you have it. You look for suppliers. So you said that you tried to look for suppliers in Shopee. And for now, do you still look from Shopee or do you outsource it in China using Alibaba? Or no, just local?
For now, since I run a dropshipping company, so basically, Shopee is still on the list. There are even local suppliers on the list as well as China. So there's a lot of places to look at. If we cannot find it on Shopee, actually Shopee is the first option because we want to check if there are Filipinos who has this. If there are Filipinos who sell it, then we buy from them. If not, then we have to turn to China, and then we import it from China here in the Philippines.
Let's say you were able to find a supplier in Shopee. Do you do anything with the product, any customization or anything, or it's just good as it is? You just evaluate which supplier is the best product and gives you the best price.
Yeah, just the best supplier and the best price. No customizations actually. Just buy it. Yeah.
Then after that, let's say you have your supplier, they will deliver to you the product. How do you put it in the in your website?
So when they deliver the products, we already you can get descriptions from AliExpress, Amazon, same item, and then you upload it on your Shopify store, and then you can now start selling. Because most of the Shopee sellers they don't have description. So the description part is actually easy because it's on the internet. You just have to copy it and just paste it on your website.
I see. So, and probably this is the main difference or definition of e-commerce. Your
Yeah,
store is not, you don't have a physical store like brick and mortar store, no? You have
no,
your website as your store. And I believe you're using Shopify or are you using
yes, I use
WooCommerce?
Shopify. Shopify.
Shopify. Okay. And is it hard to build a Shopify website? Because Filipinos were not that into tech and stuff, using programming languages to build a website. Is Shopify any simpler?
Shopify is the easiest. It's very easy to build actually. You don't need any programming skills or anything. You can easily set up a Shopify store in 1 hour, 2 hours. It's super the easiest one to use. That's why every most of the online store owners are running on Shopify because of the ease of use on the platform.
Is it because let's say for me, I'm not a into tech person or I don't know how to code or anything. Is Shopify drag and drop
Yeah, it
tool?
is similar. Yeah, it's almost drag and drop. You just have to select the option, it shows up on the yeah, more like that. Yeah.
Okay, let's say I was able to set up my Shopify store. So how can I promote it or market it or get eyeballs on my website? How do you do that?
There are many ways. Number one is the manual way. If you the traditional way, going to maybe clusters of people, groups, or marketplaces or whatever, and that takes a while. Actually, that's number one. Number two is working on SEO, which is gonna take years. The fastest way, which everybody does right now, is running what we call paid or sponsored ads. So you run ads on Facebook, Google, or Instagram, or whatever you think your customers are, and pay for the advertisements. And in return, you're going to drive visitors to your website to buy, which is what everybody, almost everyone is doing on Facebook. So you have to advertise on Facebook. Why Facebook? It's because most of the Filipinos are on Facebook compared to using Google Shopping. So in the country, Facebook is the most penetrated cluster. So that's why you see everybody advertising on Facebook. So that's where we go to drive or to bring eyeballs to your Shopify store.
I see. So Philippine, well, us have three options. You said going into groups of a community of your target audience, search engine optimization, which takes a lot of probably years to rank in the search engine optimization, and next is paid ads, which is
Yeah,
mainly Facebook and Instagram, because well,
yeah,
Filipinos we're socially connected
yeah.
um, country. And for the Facebook and Instagram, which one would you prefer mainly? Is it Instagram or Facebook, or it depends on what product you're selling?
Well, Facebook owns Instagram, so they go hand in hand. I mean, if you're gonna ask me, obviously Facebook is more interactive or more connected. Instagram is just there to supplement the whole thing. So since Facebook owns both platforms, so whatever you run on Facebook will show up on Instagram. But your main customer base are actually right there on Facebook.
I see. And let's go back with our Shopify store. What should I put, or what should I include in my Shopify website? Probably the cart. Do I need to have about section for the business, reiterating the the story of the business, or do I need to have um, any certifications posted in my website?
Basically, every website should have the main necessities, which is about us page, contact us page. You also have your terms of service, privacy policy, your refund policy, and tracking pages. These are the major ones. And about posting your certifications, it's not needed actually. Even if you have BIR, it should be posted on the address that you registered. So there's no need posting certification on your website. Just make sure your website has all those things. And obviously, a live chat, because you should also have a good customer service offer. So once you have all those things, that should be the major uh, things that should be on your website, because even if nobody reads terms of service or privacy policy, I don't see any Filipino going to buy something and then you start reading terms of service. No, don't do that. But it's a norm. So you should have all those things on your website. Those are the main ones you should have. And then the speed, make sure your website is fast enough, and also mobile optimized. Well, what I mean by mobile optimized is it should look good on mobile, because 90% of people going to your website are using their phones, not laptops. So that should be your website focus. Mobile first. And yeah, those things should be good and going.
How do you optimize it for mobile experience? Is there an option there or button to click on Shopify?
There's no specific option there anyway. Um, Shopify is already mobile optimized. So it depends on what theme or what design you're using. Then you can actually design your website to look good on mobile. So with Shopify, it's easier. But if you build a website from scratch, then you have to code your own mobile templates. So if you're using Shopify, you don't need to worry about mobile optimization. It's already optimized for you.
By the way, in using the Shopify, is there any fees associated with, let's say, an owner paying to Shopify for using the platform? Is there any
Yes,
subscription?
there is a monthly subscription fee, which is like $13 a month. So yeah, it's affordable anyway. Close to 800 pesos, I guess.
I see. And for the marketing or for the advertisements, what's your rule of thumb for creating Facebook ads? Because I know right now there's a lot of businesses uh, pay, uh, having large budgets for Facebook ads. And how do you compete with that? I believe there's a lifetime value or ad value that Facebook has, the algorithm, and etc. So, what's your rule of thumb with regard to creating an ad? Do I have to test or A/B testing?
Well, first everybody tests. So actually, your ad doesn't depend on your budget anyway. the main thing in your ad is number one is to have a good offer. So if you have a good copy and you have a good presentation, it doesn't matter if someone is spending 1 million a day and you are spending 1 to 50 a day. The result are going to be different. You can even be more profitable than the person who is spending more than you. So it's all about having a good marketing strategy, a good offer, a good ad copy, a good website, and can start with as small as 1,000 pesos a day and see the result and go forward. So it's not about the price actually. It's about how you present and whom you target. So that person who has a big budget could be targeting the wrong people. But if you're targeting the right people, all you need is 1,000 customers a month and you're at 1 million or 2 million plus, depending on what you're saying. So it's all about strategy, not budget. Actually, budget plays a part anyway, but it's not just about how much you're willing to spend. Because if you spend carelessly, you lose everything. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You said that what's important is you have a good copy and you're good with targeting. And of course,
Yeah,
you have a good offer, which is your product. Or let's
yeah.
say for the copy, let's say I'm not into advertising. I don't know what copy is. I don't know how to write the title, the description, and the bullets. Is there any courses or any reference that I can get my hands into?
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of courses on YouTube. I also have a course. Facebook has a course. If you don't have a budget, you can actually start from the free Facebook course. They call it the Facebook Blueprint. So it has everything. So you can learn how to write good copies. And if you don't know how to make videos, you can always hire someone to make you a good video. So those things are not really hard. You don't need to know it. You just have to learn it. You cannot, you can just outsource it because you can't do everything yourself. So you can start from the free copies or even look at the ads on Facebook. You see ads every day. So look at them, those ones that have high engagement. How did they write their copy? You see, you just see what they're doing and come up with something similar. And yeah, from there you start learning. It's just a matter of practice.
That's a good advice to check with your competitors how they create their ad copy as well as their image or probably video. So yeah. And for next is Facebook targeting. If I'm please correct me if I'm wrong. Targeting is both demographics and psychographics with Facebook, right? You can
Mm.
target them based on their age, where they at, female or male, and for the psychographics, or are they following any sports related with them, any TV shows,
Mm.
and what's your rule of thumb? Should I, let's say, to maximize my budget and to maximize the result of my ads, let's say I put there 18 to 65 years old, male and female, and then I'll dwell on the psychographics or the vice versa. I'll be more specific with the demographics and then be somehow general with the psychographics.
Well, it depends on what you're selling. Okay, if you're selling, your demographic should depends on what your product is. If you're selling a hairbrush, which is for women, then obviously you should be targeting women only. Now, regarding the age, also depends on what you're selling. You need to think about what you're selling. If you're selling an item for 1499, you need to ask yourself, will an 18-year-old female be able to buy this for 1499? I mean, they're college students, right? So you don't always target 18-year-olds as long as you're sure or you know that they wouldn't be able to afford the product. So you can move up to at least 23 and up. And the interest depends on also what you're selling. Let's say you're selling a gadget, you can target those that are related to smartphones, iPhones. So in summary, whatever your demographic is going to be is depending on the product itself. So that will tell you who you're going to target and who you're going to exclude. If you need to exclude men or women or reduce the age, That will tell you your product will give you an idea of everything.
Just wondering, for your, let's say for all of your products, how much is your, how much do you spend on ads per day?
But they, obviously, I spend anywhere from 10 to 20,000 a day because I don't have one store, so there are multiple stores. But obviously, some of the campaigns are running at 1,000, 1,250, 3,000, 5,000, depending if you're scaling or not. So, but if you're gonna, like right now, I still have at least 5 stores running. So, we combine the ad spend a day, anywhere from 10 to 20, you should be spending that a day. But it doesn't mean that anybody watching it is going to spend 20K. No, I started from one store. Okay, one store at 1,000 a day. So it's all about scaling up.
Which leads me to my next question. Of course, when pricing my product, the marketing should be tucked in. So, what do you think should be the healthy profit margin that I should set for me to carve out my marketing budget? 20, 30% profit margin?
It depends actually on the product. No? Depends on the cost of goods actually. But you should mark up your products as high as possible, but not um stupidly high. For example, um, the the products. How do I put it? Okay, that's what we call the price perception. Okay, so price perception is how you convince people to make them feel that this product is cost this much, or how do you present the product to make them believe that this item is cost 2,499. So, if I get an item for 65 pesos on Shopee, I could sell it as high as 999 pesos. That is super high margin. I can get an item for 1,520 and sell it for 3,999. I'm telling you actual figures right now. So this is what I'm selling for some product. So in ecom, price is not enough. Price is just a number. It's about how you convince people to believe that this item is worth 4K. You should buy it. So, and for the profit margin, after all your costs, I think the profit of 500 to 1,000 isn't bad. I mean, after deducting all the expenses per product. So, a profit of 500 to 1,000 is healthy enough. If you're able to mark it up as high as possible, then that's fine. That's okay. All depends on how you present it. But the benchmark for me is 500 pesos profit per product after all costs deducted.
So that's net. It's 500 pesos. It's net.
Yeah, at least you know you're doing fine.
But how do you convince people that let's say you buy it for around less than 100 pesos in Shopee and then you sell it for 2, 4, even 5 times of your cogs in your store. So how will you convince them that it's price, or how will you sway their price perception?
Yeah, plus goes back to the offer and the presentation. No, if let's say for example, you're coming from a basketball game and then there are two people selling water, and then one of them just sits down there pressing his phone, buy water. Bro, do you want water? He just look at you and continue using his phone. And the other person selling the water will come, carry all his water and tell you, you guys are tired, you need water. You know that human being is 90% water. You drink water, you have the strength to play more. Go, go. Like the other person is making some effort. His own presentation is different from the one sitting down using his phone, believing that people are gonna buy water anyway. Compared to the guy who came up to you and starts cheering you up and gives you water like that. So that's how I can explain perception and pricing. So it's all about the effort and how you make them believe that the item is this smart. It can be a discount. So you can say old price is 3,000, now available at 999. And Filipinos love discounts, right? So they can be like, whoa, discount. Lazada use that every time. We don't know. So um, those are one of the ways you can convince them. Or you can even offer free gift as a side catch. So you buy the item for 65 pesos and then you find a small item worth 5 pesos and you just add it as a free gift. So get a free gift. So basically, they're still paying for the free gift. No, it's all about presentation. There are different. There are many ways to twist their mind. It's all psychology and income. They just need to hear a sweet deal, and they'll get it, no matter the price you're selling it for.
Um, with regard to the presentation, do you brand or do you put brand name on your product? Let's say you bought it from Shopee and then you stick your brand in it and then it is a good presentation. So do you do that?
Some products, not all. So before you
Okay.
brand, you have to be very sure that this is hot selling, no? Because branding comes with a lot of stocks. You don't just brand one piece. If you want to brand, they will ask you to buy at least 500, 200 pieces of it. So you cannot buy 500 pieces of what you cannot sell, right? So before you brand, I've done it before. I have two now. So I made sure that the product is hot selling and is sustainable. And I went ahead, yeah, it's branded from China and with your own logo. And that's also a very good way to present your product as well. And once it has a brand name, you can actually price it at anything you want. You can sell it way more higher. It's your brand. So, but you have to be very careful. Not everything that can be branded will sell. So, you have to make sure this product is proven and it's long lasting. It's not seasonal. And you can actually go ahead and brand it as well.
So let's say I have my product, I have my Shopify store, I'm running my ads, and then people purchase on my Shopify store. So how will I able to ship my product to them? Can I do it on my own, or is it? Do we have any fulfillment center? Like I believe Amazon has a fulfillment center that they will
Uh,
pack and ship.
it's all it depends on the setup of the person anyway. So some people do it on their own. They do it on their own. They sign up for GNT Express or other couriers and do their own shipping. Others also use fulfillment centers. So same like Amazon said, you send the stocks to the fulfillment center and they do the whole thing for you. So others don't even do anything. That is pure drop shipping, right? They don't even care what happens. All they know is get orders and automatically the drop shipping company will handle the logistics. So three things there. So number one, you shipping it yourself. You go to the LBC yourself. Number two is you buy the stocks, then you send it to a fulfillment center. And number three is you don't even do anything. You just sell and the dropshipping company handles the logistics.
Okay, so we have three options. Pala. So we have us fulfilling our own product, and the next is to look for any fulfillment center which can do that for us, and the drop shipping, which is becoming popular business style right now. So you just sell and then you ask your manufacturer to do it and then have it shipped them by self as well. So yeah, and since this is new to the Philippine uh, industry or the here in the Philippines, this e-commerce, is there any? You said you have your course, so do you guys teach them from product researching to sourcing, and then creating this Shopify store, and then the marketing side of it, the Facebook, and then how to ship it? Do you cater that in your course?
Yeah, actually, I have two courses. One of them is free. So the free one covers everything you need to do. I call it the Ecom Gateway X. So there you learn e-commerce from scratch. The requirements, the cost, and you learn product sourcing, importing, and I even build a Shopify store in the course. So if you watch me, you're gonna have your own Shopify store at the end of it. So from that course, you learn everything from building, sourcing, your own fulfillment, drop shipping, or whatever you want to do, and building a website and getting it ready. That's all free course because I know some people don't know how to get started, so I just made it free and yeah, everybody can access it. And the second one is Facebook ads exclusive. That one is not free. This is just Facebook ads from A to Z. So these two courses are the ones I offer. And also, you can actually learn how to build Shopify stores or sourcing on YouTube. A lot of content on the internet. It's all about. That's why I said e-com is not for everyone. Some people are lazy to to do some work. So it's all about the attitude and the willingness to learn. You find what you need right there on the internet, and a lot of resources around you as well.
So, I'll link all of those the free course for the e-commerce and the Facebook
Yeah.
paid course here in the description box. And I think one of my last question, how is your stores doing now? How much are you, let's say, how much is your gross sales monthly on the average?
All the stores actually, um, every store, every store has a benchmark of at least 1.5 million pesos. I mean, the lowest every month. Then some of them, like the major stores, are doing anywhere from two, three. Some are doing one, two. But the point is, none of them is below 1.5 every month. So that's the benchmark. There are currently five stores running. So I sold some because I don't have time to manage everything. And yeah, so that's how they're doing now. And it was even more during the pandemic, like May, April, those times pandemic came. um, People were shopping like crazy, panicking. So there was a very high spike during those months. But now it's back to normal as well, especially with the GCQ. So shopping is still there, but it's not like spiking so high like first months of the pandemic lockdown. But yeah, so I have that's my benchmark for every store. So if a store does below the benchmark, then there's a problem. It's a problem somewhere. We have to check it.
How long it's been since you were able to create your first Shopify store?
Mm, my first Shopify store way back was in 2015. That was international. It failed. I never had a successful store for 1 year. So all the stores I made from 2015 until around June 2016 was nothing was successful. The successful one a bit came in 2016, going to December. That was international when I learned Google Ads, and I used my tuition fee for ads then. And from there, I made a local store. My first local store is beginning 2018. So that one is still active right now. So that's the first local store I made. And from there, I've made a lot of local stores and I've sold them. So up to now, only five are standing. The newest store was created in May. So the newest one I have now was made in May. I think because I recorded a course, that's why I made it. So it's still active
In just 2 years, you're earning millions. Well, as gross profit. That's super great. And last, um, is there any let's say for example, um, you'll be good in one thing, copywriting or setting up the Shopify theme or product research. Is there any particular skill that if you will be good at, or what's the one skill that you'll be given a chance that you'll be good at? What is it and why?
now. For me, it's video editing and Photoshop. I'm not good in that. I'm not. I need that, but I don't have time to learn. So if you ask me what I want to be good at, those are the two things: how to edit video and
But does that well, is that your main um let's just say it's is it the most important when it's say selling to Shopify or no? Yeah, it's because that you're just not really good with creatives.
70% of it because the presentation is all about the video editing and the Photoshop, how you present it. So it's a skill that everybody wants to have, and that's why you see anyone with that skill get paid to make videos or make banners or whatever. So it's part of it. It's a major factor that I cannot live without. If you remove that, then getting sales will be really hard because there's nothing to show to people or will entice them to buy. So it all lies in the editing and photoshopping. Those are the major skills that I really need.
Any last advice for our audience who would want to get into e-commerce business setting their Shopify store?
Well, all I can say is we've said in the beginning that e-commerce is available to everyone, but it's not for everyone. Number one, if you are, I'm going to give you reasons not to do e-commerce. If you're lazy, I don't think it's for you. Secondly, if you're expecting immediate profit or immediate success or something that you just start now, you're a millionaire tomorrow, then don't do it. Um, if you think that this is an MLM, invest and wait, then don't do it. If you think that it's forex trading, then don't do it. Now, you should do e-commerce if you really want to have a business. This is like brick and mortar store, only that you don't have a physical business, but it's basic retailing. So you should also do it if you are someone who has enough patience to learn and apply your mistakes. And sorry, and apply corrections. Because even up to now, I'm still learning because e-commerce always changes. So it for those people there who has never say die attitude, never giving up, and always willing to apply whatever they learned. If you're that kind of person, then I think you're gonna succeed in e-commerce. And don't join e-com because you see people making millions. You don't know their backstory, right? Don't let that be your decision. Okay, I saw this person posting 1 million in Shopify. I want to start, but you don't know what it costs to or how many failures to be able to get that. So this kind of people, when they start, the first sign of failure, they quit. They close the store because they can't deal with it. So that's the one thing. And also the last word is don't be jealous of someone's sales because you're not gonna get anywhere if you're always jealous of people. It's like karma. So if someone is doing well, be happy for the person. Learn from what, ask question, how did you do this, and try to apply it. If you wish people good, you get good. That's how it works. But if you're like 1 million and you're trying to get 1 million to yourself, it's not gonna work. I mean, it's not a good aura to have. You should always have a free spirit and always try to learn from anybody you see. Just learn as many things, apply it. Telling you, you're gonna have success in e-commerce. So that's what I want to tell to anyone watching this and planning to start e-commerce as well.
And if they want to ask about Shopify or probably um, asking about your service for your business for the fulfillment center and dropshipping, where can they find you? Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, they can just Google. You can find OGMD dropshipping on Facebook. We also have the biggest e-commerce group in the Philippines. We're currently at 45,000. The Philippine e-commerce and dropshipping community. Or you can just look at the links that we're gonna post in the description, and I'll provide you all the links that you need to get in touch with our services or anything, including the free courses. Also, the links are gonna be posted in the descriptions.
Okay, man. Thank you so much, and probably
So,
we'll catch up again sometime just to
yeah,
give an
sure,
update on your business. Thank you.
no problem. You're welcome.